crunch time, baby.
Hey. Yeah. Hey. Get the fuck up out my face. Money tucked inside the safe. If you ask me what I want, what you brought me in the case. Dodging ops, getting guap. Get the fuck up out my way. I'm forever on the race till they catch me in the chase. Get the fuck up out my face. Money tucked inside the safe. If you ask me what I want, what you brought me in the case. Dodging ops, getting guap. Get the fuck up out my way. I'm forever on the race. Rainy days, stormy winters.
Welcome back to the Austin build. Right, as you've just seen, the body is done underneath. The chassis is now done on the top. I'm probably going to change a lot of this once I've used the car. But I need to know what works well, what doesn't, and so, you know. But, a quick rundown. The rear end, got the rams all mounted and in, got a bit of paint on the stuff. I put these strengtheners back in the floor. I've run the, for me, it's impressive, I put all new brakes on the rear, new calipers, everything. I've got the Hell braided lines, I've plumbed in the back lines, and this one runs to the front. I've then got the shock towers are in, rams are mounted, engine mounts are all boxed off and done. I filled in the gaps at the front. We have got a complete chassis. Now we've only got a few days till I'm meant to be driving this car, so lots to do, but whilst we roll the chassis back under the body, I will hand you over back in time to Chris doing my wheels, because Chris loves to step in at the last minute and do all the shit jobs I don't want to do. So thank you for that, Chris, but the wheels are done and on. I did buy the wrong size tyres, but we'll get into that later. But for now, I'll pass you over to Chris 2 days ago? Hang on, it's me again. I forgot to actually show you the body. So, the firewall section is all done, the tunnel underneath. This is obviously the section I put in for the pedal box, so the cylinders sit on the outside. And then we've got obviously the rear tubs, the rear floor. This is the rear end of the tunnel. Obviously all tubs are in, and this is where the fuel tank will sit on the inside. So now, let's go to Chris.
Right, so you joined me from my home workstation. Now, it's Monday, I don't work Mondays, but it's crunch time this week, so Jack needs all the help he can get. One thing I can do is I can build these wheels up from home for him, because it's a bit of a tedious job, it's a bit time consuming, so he's got better things to be getting on with. I can do this from home. So, I've built up several sets of wheels in the past. I'm no professional, so, you know, don't exactly follow me, because it might not be right. But, what we're going to do is, these are obviously 3-piece, so they need to be sealed in here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start with, or what I normally do, I'm going to start off with a wire wheel and a drill. And I'm going to clean each of these lips up, even though these lips are brand new, these are second hand, and I'm going to run round the face where everything meets up. So I'll go around with a wire wheel or the drill. I'll also go around a bit of Scotch pad to clean them up, and then just a bit of thinners, clean any last bits off before we put any sealant on there. I'm using like OB1 sealant adhesive, black. She'll do. And then, yeah, so I'm just going to clean these up, put a bit of silicone around them, nuts and bolts through them, put some valves in them, and then when I go into work tomorrow we can put some tyres on. Let's get on with it.
Body's on. Chris is now making a bracket for the fuel tank, and it's looking pretty good. I have been fitting the pedal box. So these are now on the outside in the engine bay. This stuff's all in here and it goes, whoop! That all works. So that all kind of went to plan, which makes a refreshing change. Next on the list, oh no, I've done an Oh god. Next up on the list is I'm going to, this is my brake line from the back, so that will go into that master cylinder, and then I'm going to tee the front two together like they were, put them in that one, clutch in that one, then I'll run the reservoirs up and mount them. That will then be brakes fully done on the car, and then I need to move on to steering. So I'll go on with the steering. Chris is going to put some Dodo mat in the back section. Dodo. Then bolt the tank in, and then we will move on to the false floor in the boot. And then the hydros can go on top of that, and we can run the hydro lines, and hopefully by the end of the day it will go up and down, backwards, forwards, stop, and turn. Well, it won't, because it won't be running, but Chris can push me around and it should do that. So, I think we need to get on. I will film each section. I'll do an update each time we do it. There's only so much I can film when we've got to build a full car in a day, but yes. So it's the next day now. Nothing went to plan. But I started doing the lines, the clutches in, the rears are in. We had to order some fittings, which held us up a little bit. I've put brackets on for the flexies now, so I've got to run them lines. I'm just waiting for a T-piece, and then I can finish those. So I actually moved on with the steering in the end. So this is MX5, MX5. That's the bottom bearing from the MX5 column. And then this is the original Austin, so we can keep the steering wheel, but when I turn this, these turn. So that's a bit of a result. It's a fairly simple setup in the grand scheme of things, but that's another one off of the list. Christopher.
Hello everyone.
Bolted the tank in and put in the Dodo mat. And now he's ran the hydro lines to the front and the rear, and he's now looking at fuel lines. We're going to try and use the original MX5 fuel system front to back to save there being any joins or anything. So I'll update that in the next clip or so when we get that joined in. Obviously the hydro lines need to go on. What I'm going to do now is trim the back out of this wing where the turret is. So I'm going to trim that out now so I can put a wing on, because then we'll know where we can clip the lines, etc. And this side of the engine is all doable from above with the wing on. So that's the next plan. By the end of the day, the car will be running and driving. I say that at the end of every day. It's never happened, but we might be getting somewhere. But there's a lot to do, so I'm going to put the camera down and join you when we've done a bit more. It's the next day.
Yeah, it is.
We are having a well-earned break, while...
I'm not having a break, I'm working.
Shut up. While Gary is giving it the car cleaning treatment because I didn't want to. And they nicely offered whilst Chris worked on the van.
But don't be fooled, the car is nowhere near done.
It's nowhere near done. But I will walk out there. I probably won't be able to use the audio, but I'll show you from the outside. First glimpse. Fucking beautiful. but there's still a shitload to do, so we will get back on it when we finish normal day-to-day work. But until then, bye. So, a day has passed since I last filmed. I am now a broken shell of a man, and the workshop is in an absolute state, but just look at it. Now, it might seem like I glossed over a lot of stuff, but a lot of it was just small little jobs like fitting the accelerator cable and bleeding the brakes and things. We were that intensely getting it finished, I didn't pick up the camera as much as I should have, so I will apologise for that. But like I said, I'm going to do a big full rundown on this in its own video, but unfortunately we didn't get it finished in time. We got it 99% there, and then the ECU and the base map, I just couldn't get it to work. It's my own fault. I should have tried to do the wiring part of it earlier in the week when the company was open, because I have also, actually, let's skip back a little bit. I haven't mentioned the one thing I said I was going to buy, that I did buy, that I said I'd tell you about later on, was actually a full standalone ECU, and you can see it. Ignore the mess inside. But I brought a full terminated wire and loom and ECU from Motorsport Electronics. They done us a bit of a deal, which was a massive help, but it means I didn't have to run any of the MX-5 loom, and it's all standalone, mappable, boostable, because we're going to turbo it. So it kind of done all of that, and it's a really nicely made loom. It only uses the stuff you need to use, and so I could literally just plug all the sensors on the engine, plug it in, do the base map, and it would have ran. But there was some issues, so the actual next video is going to be getting it running. There's the cool little touches we've done, like the extended gear stick. It's the original Austin stick. Chris tapped out the bottom and put that on for me while I was getting on with the pedals. The wheels obviously came out cool. I'm not sure if I should have gone for 17s maybe, so I may step them up in the future. We've got the full Slambasseter hydro setup in the boot. Well, it's got back windows in. They've never been in since I've had it, so that's quite nice. Went with the original Austin steering wheel, all hooked up to the Mazda steering. The pedal box is all in and done. They all do pedal things now. So yeah, we had to rush through a lot of it, but nothing has been rushed. We just put in a lot of hours, so although we rushed it, we didn't actually rush it. Everything's been done to a good standard. Made a battery clamp and put that up there with all the wire and the brake reservoirs. Obviously bottom of the pedal box, wire and loom, fuel lines, steering. Everything's done well. There's a couple of little things now. I have a bit more time. I was going to do these when I got back from Roll Hard, but I can do them now. Like the exhaust comes out underneath and it kind of points too close to maybe the back of the wheel, so there's just going to be a lot of heat in that area, so I think we'll extend that out. Wire and loom I'm going to tidy up a bit more and just, make it all a little bit neater, loom tape everything, but all in all it's nearly done. So next week's video, by the time it goes out, it should be running and driving. I want to get it running, drive it, make sure everything works, and then make a plan from there. This is never going to be the end of the Austin series because I need to do a full interior. I also want to turbo it, although I did look at throttle bodies this morning, which might be cool. It might suit the car more. Yeah, all in all, there's been a lot done in this week. I want to do a shout out for Chris, who helped. He didn't have to jump on and help, but he had a couple of spare days, so he helped massively. He jumped on and done all the jobs I didn't want to do and just helped push it along. Also, my dad and Jane came down all day yesterday. They were here till I think about 11 o'clock last night helping, and they certainly didn't have to. They could have easily put their phones on silent, but they jumped in and helped. Freya's obviously helped along the way. My mum has given me a lot of encouragement. Luckily, I have parents who think my stupid ideas are also cool, so that helps. But yeah, we've got a lot to do, but a lot has been done. I've got these as well. I've had these done for a little while, but I didn't want to release them until the car was done, because they say Dropworks Speed Shop, and then they've got the same logo on the front but smaller. Thought it'd be silly to do a speed shop t-shirt without anything speedy, but this is, speedy-ish. So they will be on the website when this goes live. Also, one last thing that I completely forgot to mention is, with this ECU and wiring and things, it also means I have a digital dashboard. So that means I now have speedo and the lot. I have everything I need to be able to see what's going on with the engine. The other thing is Auto Finesse. Gareth, obviously, while they were down here, done a lot of polishing, but it was had to be fairly quick. But like you can see, the shine that's come up on the paint is wild, really. It needs a lot more, but like the reflection is. I was trying to show it didn't work. The reflections come up great in it. So, with that being said, I am knackered. I've not had much sleep for the last few days, and I need to go home and edit this now. It's Sunday at the moment. It's actually getting quite late in the day, so if it's up tonight, nice. If it's not, apologies, it will be up Monday. I don't know why I said that, because you're just going to see it on the day it's up. But lastly, thank you for everyone who watches and the nice comments and things. It does help keep you going at times. And let's just end with this. What a car. Like, comment, subscribe, share it, tell your friends, and let's build some more stupid things. A goodbye.